This is coming from Tom Verducci from Sports Illustrated, that he did hear that the Dodgers and Orioles are confirmed that they're interested in putting together a significant prospect package for Skubal. And, you look at the Baltimore Orioles, the last 3 seasons, they've been ranked number 1 in MLB prospect rankings, and it's time to go spend them. I mean, you are already at a point when you look at their prospects where you have people like Kobe Mayo. He's just trying to get through and get up to the big league level, but he's a first baseman, third baseman, and we know that they're stacked in that position as well. And then you obviously got Jax Holiday. They're not trading him. He's going to be staying there. But there's a lot of guys in their system building up. Samuel Basello, who's a catcher first baseman. You really think that guy's going to get an opportunity to play for a team? No, I think there's going to be an opportunity for these Baltimore Orioles to be sending him off to Detroit. And hell, Detroit could use literally anybody to go and turn this team around. Now, the Dodgers, on the other hand, they still got a good system, but it's going to be tough when you're trying to compete for a guy like Skubal. If Tarik Skubal is going to be on the market from the Detroit Tigers, do you really think that they actually have a chance to make a competitive offer?
Well, okay, yes, because it is LA, right? And LA still has a good farm system, right? We know that those LA prospects, usually they become something special. Obviously, they are in LA, so they get the best of everything. But, the Dodgers, they approach things differently. And when you have Shohei Ohtani on your team, you do approach things differently, right? It is win now. It is time to win as many World Series as possible in the next decade as you possibly can. You have arguably more than 3 Hall of Famers on your team, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely more than that. This is go time for them. And and I just see that if it comes down to a tit for tat, punch for punch, you're in, we're in, like, you put in some chips, we call you, right? I just think that the LA Dodgers are going to outbid anyone just because that is who they are as a baseball team.
Potentially. I mean, the thing is with the LA Dodgers, if they put all their, let's say, assuming that, again, this whole conversation, Tarik Skubal is going to be up for trade from the Detroit Tigers, they are so injured right now in their pitching staff that, yes, Tarik Skubal is a phenomenal guy. He's going to be great. You're going to have him for 2 more years after this of control, and he's going to give you Cy Young caliber performances. But right now, looking at the LA Dodgers pitching staff, just for this season, Yamamoto 60-day IL, Kershaw 60-day IL, Emmett Sheehan 60-day IL, Tony Gonsolin 60-day IL, Dustin May 60-day IL, Glasnow just hit the IL, Walker Buehler's been asked, but IL. Maybe they come back next year and it's all fine. But for this season, it feels like they need to maybe be more economical with their prospects and potentially go grab a couple more guys to fill out the depth.
I hear what you're saying, but I just don't know if I agree, man, because I think that, yes, now they are a normal baseball team, but they still have an amazing lineup, arguably the best lineup in all of baseball, right? You bring in Tarik Skubal to that, you're going to get Clayton Kershaw coming back relatively soon. Now, we don't know what he's going to be
right.
at, but, that's a Hall of Famer right there. I do anticipate that he will be, at the very least, serviceable. You should get Yamamoto back at some point this
later
season,
down the line,
but that'll be for postseason,
right?
Because you're going to make postseason, right? We're not even thinking about regular season anymore if you're the Dodgers. You're just thinking about, we're trying to win in October. We're trying to win in October. You got a good division lead. We're trying to win there. You'll get Glasnow back as well. I mean, it's weathering the storm right now.
That's what it has to be.
But you get Tarik Skubal in, that guy is going to be incredible. And then on top of that, like you said, you will have him for 2 more additional years. Can you imagine what their pitching staff would look like walking into next year?
Yeah, I know, it'd be incredible because you got Ohtani, you got Yamamoto, you would have Skubal, you would have Glasnow. Yeah, it'd be great. But you're right, they got to weather the storm because right now I'm looking at a team in the last 30 days that is one of the worst teams in baseball in terms of ERA. I just had their stats right here. Yeah, they're 27th in baseball.
Yeah.
And they have a 5.29 ERA in the last 30 days. So they got one guy, for sure, amazing. Love the trade. But if they put all their chips to try to compete with the Baltimore Orioles to try to get them, I'm saying, you might need to consider getting more additional help because, one guy is going to be phenomenal every 5th day, but you also got to consider maybe considering some other options as well. Multiple pieces.
I think they will, though. I think that's just the way that these LA Dodgers are built, and I think that they made it very clear this offseason when they went – well, they've actually made it clear in the past several offseasons, right? Like, think about what they've done in the past 3 to 4 years. I know he's not on your team anymore, but you went out, you buy Trevor Bauer, who was at the time like the number one pitcher available, so you go out and get that guy. You also – they're not on the team anymore either, but you traded for Max Scherzer, you traded for Trey Turner, right? You did that. So that was a thing that, and then you got those guys away. You traded for Mookie Betts. You signed Freddie Freeman. You signed Shohei Ohtani. Like, you traded for Tyler Glasnow. You signed Yamamoto. There is no end. There is no end. They will get Skubal. They will get other guys. They don't give a fuck.
Well, the great thing about this is, like, look, if they don't get Skubal, because, again, you're up against the Baltimore Orioles. That's another piece of this. They will, I mean, if there's a equivalent, okay, we got Orioles prospects, or we got the top Orioles prospects, or the top Dodger prospects, I got to go with the Oriole prospects. They're just way, like, if you give 2 top guys in the top 15, you're looking at that catcher, you're looking at you look at Colby Mayo. I mean, I got to be looking at that right there, looking at what the Orioles have done. So just in that regard, I do think if this is going to be a heavyweight matchup for Skubal down the stretch, I'd give it to the Orioles. But the Dodgers, you go get some other guys. Go get Jack Flaherty. Go get some other pitchers on the market as well. Fetty, go get that guy. Go get some other guys. You can go make it happen.
I hear what you're saying. I think, though, for me, it just comes down to a mentality thing. And I think that the Baltimore Orioles, even though they went out and they did make a buy in Corbin Burns, if I had to put money on whichever team is actually going to, fit the bill here for Tarik Skubal, it's the Dodgers for me. It is I know that you're right. Pound for pound, do we have more assets in Baltimore to give away? Sure. Are we willing to give them away as much as the LA Dodgers are, though? I don't think they are.
We got to see, because, again, new management, new ownership. We got to see. They already made the trade for Burns, like you already brought up. And for me, the Orioles, like, what's left for them to really complete on this team? There's 1 or 2 rotation spots.
Right.
And maybe 1 more bullpen arm, and that's it. That's it. Whereas the Dodgers, you got a whole rotation. You got about 2 or 3 spots to fill out this season. And then you've got to think a little bit more about the bullpen, too. The lineup's fine, but, they're a little bit more behind where the Orioles are in terms of being like a quote-unquote complete team.
I hear you. No, I do. I certainly hear where you're coming from. I'm just looking at the last 5 years, and I'm going, if there's a big name, they're going to LA, they're finding a way. That's just what they do.